No C. No C.
That's no capo.
Oh, no capo.
I just didn't want to do what I did to you last time. Starts on your...
Make me find the fourth.
I know. Take a corner. show? How are you? Are you early in the program? Okay. You're doing a good job of buying food here and kids. Once I know the song, unless Mike gets up to it.
Thank you so much. Hello, hello, hi. Chag Sameach, hello. This is the time to find your seats and start getting into Seder mode. So we're going to start in a couple minutes, and then we will kick off the festivities. What's your problem? I know the solution. You're going to go to Linda, who's right there, walking, and you're going to say, Linda, what am I supposed to read? Okay, thanks. As long as I'm fully off the stage and sitting. Okay, great. No, she was looking for what we're reading.
Our neighbors
Is anyone sitting with empty chairs at their table? Can I see a show of hands for empty chairs? Okay, thank you so much. I see a few back here. I see some empty chairs over here. So for those looking for chairs, look at these two tables back here and this table over there. Hello, hi. We are going to begin this Seder, so please find your seat. Hi. I would like to start by asking everyone, as they settle, to turn off all their devices that make noise, unless there is a necessity that is medical or your job. Airplane mode is great. Silent mode is great. Vibrate. Just beeps off. Thank you. Hi, my name is Shayna Gozansky. I am a very proud parent to a Dalit student at Shul, which is how I got this gig. I want to start with some business, and then we'll get into sort of our welcoming gathering, and then we'll move into our Seder proper. The first thing I want to say, the nut-free, alcohol-free Haroset is over there. And if you run out of haroset, of the nut and alcohol kind, it will be at the self-serve table in the back. So that is the haroset announcement. If you are a person who signed up to read and you forgot what you're reading, or in fact am not entirely sure what you're reading, you're going to find Linda, who is currently holding a pitcher of water but sits at that table.
And running fast.
Here's Linda. And Linda is going to tell you what it is you chose to sign up for to read. I want to just start by saying welcome. It is always such an incredible joy and privilege to be in community. And the more time we have together, the more uplifted I feel. I also want to take a second to say hello to our online friends who are Zooming in. Mom and Dad, hello. My parents are streaming this from Atlanta because of this. If, dear online attendees, you have any questions or problems, please feel free to drop those in the chat and they will be dealt with. Okay, so for our readers, we ask that 1 or 2 readings before yours, you come and you stand on either side of the stage and wait, so that way we can keep things moving along. And I think that's all the business, so let's get down to the fun. Can I get a show of hands of current Shula students? Are there any Shula students? Oh my gosh, look at that. Do we have any former Shula students here? Okay. And they're not all teens, folks. Some of them are full-blown adults. Do we have any current and former Shula parents here? Yes, we do. Wow, look at that. Anyone who is involved in a social justice committee at BWC? Yes, raise those hands, tall, proud. Do we have anyone in a Beservelt Yiddish chorus? Okay, showing up strong today. Anyone involved in Yiddish programming? Do we have any proud members of Boston Workers Circle? Yes, that's right. And then the next question is, do we have anyone here for the first time? Yes. Welcome. Those are, no offense, everyone, you're my faves. Well, I just want to start by saying welcome. It's such an honor to be asked to do this and to be here. I want us all to just take a moment and look around at this community, wave to people you know, wave to people you don't. Just take in this space, this multi-generational, beautiful gathering. There is, and just one more thing, just so that everyone in the room knows, if you are someone who needs a bit of distraction or movement or to draw or read a great book, there are some wonderful children's books and some crafts in the back. Don't be shy about getting what you need because, you know, Seders aren't the shortest of our events. And also, anyone with a name tag on is probably a person who will have an answer to a question or know the person to ask for an answer to the question. The only thing I know is what I'm supposed to do here. All right, so sit back, relax, lean as you wish, and we will begin. Thank you so much.
I don't know what happened here. Cats, what happened here? He is here. Where's my guitar? Okay, fine. Technical problems.
It's organizational problems, technical problems.
Our first song is a lovely Yiddish Ladino tune. Please join us. Purim, Purim, Purim lano, Pesach, Pesach ala mano, las masas si están faziendo, los yabracas si están codiendo. Aman, 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 il Dio bendicho muzamazal. Aman, 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 il Dio bendicho muzamazal. Purim, Purim, Purim lano, Pesach, Pesach alaman, la nona está diciendo a las nietos, Olimpia el pueblo, cantones y los tecos. Aman, 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 il Dio bendicho muzamazal. Aman, 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 il Dio bendicho muzamazal. Purim, Purim, Purim lano, Pesach, Pesach alaman, il Signor Rubi dice a las tías, no comer il pan 8 días. Aman, 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 il Dio bendicho muzamazal. Aman, 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 il Dio bendicho muzamazal.
I was supposed to be reading this welcome with Susan Langus, who unfortunately couldn't be here in person, but she is in Puerto Rico. So I want to say hi, Susan. So welcome to our Passover Seder. As I don't need to say, we are living in extraordinary times. Modern-day pharaohs are threatening our Constitution and our democracy. We are witnessing a revival of the fascism we thought we had vanquished. It was within this context that we gathered today to celebrate Passover, which is the liberation of the Jewish people. We remember that we are linked in our history, to our history with all peoples in the fight for justice and freedom. This year, as we retell our ancient story, we are keenly aware that we must resist the actions of today's pharaohs by creating and sustaining liberation movements at home and all over the world. For it is said, every person in every generation must regard themselves as having been personally freed from bondage in Mitzrayim, the Hebrew name of ancient Egypt and a metaphor for a time of enslavement. Let us celebrate our freedom from enslavement in Mitzrayim and strengthen ourselves to fight against current injustices. For as long as one person is oppressed, none of us is free.
In Hebrew, Mitzrayim means the narrow place. Okay, yeah. Okay. In Hebrew, Mitzrayim means the narrow place. First, a refuge, then a place of enslavement, and finally, the birth canal of a people. Today, we find ourselves in a very narrow, stifling place created by the new social order and political realities of our country. Let us use this moment to denounce the vile bigotry that is no longer hidden and to deepen our commitment to work towards a world where every life is valued. Let us commit that even when our government runs roughshod over its people and the world, we will support each other with hope for a besser Welt. The word Seder means order, and Haggadah means the telling. Our Haggadah has retained much of the traditional order, but has adapted much of the content. Ever since Rabbi Akiba used the Passover Seder to plan a revolutionary struggle against the Romans, Jews have used the Seder to begin work on tikkun, healing and transformation. This is exceptionally important today, for it is said, whoever enlarges upon the telling of the Exodus from Mitzrayim, those persons are praiseworthy.
Do we have someone for lighting the candles? Yes, you're there. Oh, it's you. Go.
Please join us as we light the Passover candles.
These candles symbolize an end of winter, a beginning of spring, and also a long history of struggle against oppression. We must join with all oppressed people, honoring both our differences and our need to work together for our future and the future of our children.
We incorporate the ancient Hebrew blessing to connect to our history and the worldwide Jewish community. We root our secular Jewish ritual in Jewish language from the diaspora, including Ladino, Yiddish, and English. As we say in Hebrew, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotzav, v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel yom tov.
As we say in Ladino,
That's okay.
as we say in Ladino, brillante es la luz de Pesach, brillante es la luz de la paz, brillante es la luz en la humanidad, brillante es la luz en el mundo.
As we say in Yiddish, lichtig is die Schein von Pesach. Von Pesach. Lichtig is die Schein von Shalom. Lichtig is die Schein von Shalom. Lichtig is die Schein von Menschlichkeit. Lichtig is die Schein von Menschlichkeit. Lichtig is die Schein von der Welt. Which means in English, radiant is the light of Pesach, radiant is the light of peace, radiant is the light in humanity, radiant is the light in the world.
People, anyone who's speaking, please do me the favor. I can't make it louder than you are. I can fake it, but I can't do it very well. So you come right up to the mic and speak right into the mic and make believe the mic isn't there and everyone will hear. Right?
Today, we retell an ancient story, the story of Exodus from Mitzrayim and our liberation from enslavement. Each year, we remember not just the story of our own oppression and deliverance in ancient times, but also our current struggles for social justice. We recognize our history and the current conditions faced by refugees, especially those denied refuge due to culture, race, and gender. We welcome those who have been traumatized by the savagery of current wars, terrorism, imperialism, colonialism, or climate change. As written in the Torah, do not oppress or mistreat the foreigner, for once you were strangers in the land of Mitzrayim.
Now our hearts... Sorry. Okay. Our hearts turn to the Middle East, the site of the ancient Passover story and the oppression that continues today.
including decades of violations of Palestinian human rights. In the aftermath of Hamas's attack on October 7th, our community came together in grief and heartbreak. We continue to mourn for the Israeli dead and yearn for the safe return of those who are still being held hostage. Our Jewish tradition holds that Palestinian lives are as precious as Israeli lives. In Gaza, over the past 18 months, the destruction, humanitarian crisis, and loss of life, especially of children, are almost unfathomable. And in the occupied West Bank, Israeli and Jewish American settlers are rampaging through and destroying centuries-old Palestinian villages. There is no safety and self-determination for Palestinians and Israelis. I'm sorry. There is no military solution to this issue. We call for a lasting, oh God, here's the bracha. We call for a lasting ceasefire and a political solution that ensures equality, safety, and self-determination for Palestinians and Israelis. Kin yehei ratzon and inshallah. We commit ourselves to work toward the collective liberation of all people. We must resist and speak out against the fear and hate born of ignorance.
Let us recognize that we are meeting on the ancient homeland and traditional territory of the Massachusetts people. Boston Workers Circle pays a voluntary land tax to the Massachusetts tribe at Ponkapoag as a symbolic gesture acknowledging the historical dispossession of indigenous lands and as a way to support tribal sovereignty and economic development. We pay respect to Massachusetts peoples, past, present, and future, and their continuing presence in their homeland and throughout the Massachusetts diaspora.
You got it? Yeah. Hello? Oh, that's loud. Hello there.
You ready?
We're having technical difficulties. Sorry. Can we make it lower?
Yeah, come to this one.
Okay.
Here, I'm going to take it out and I'm just going to hold it for you.
Yeah.
There you go.
Hi. Sorry, I am panicking.
We're ready for you. Just nice and loud. Hold on one second. We're getting there. I know, I just didn't want to. Okay, ready?
Yeah, can I hold it? Hi. Sorry for the technical difficulties. I'm very short. As we say in Hebrew. Oh, wait, wrong thing. Sorry.
That's okay. You're doing great.
No.
You're gonna go.
We invite you to pour the first cup of wine.
And then are you ready to say as we say in Hebrew?
Yeah, I know. I spoke fluent Hebrew. Thank you. Sorry. I didn't mean to. As we say in Hebrew, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen.
I'll do this. You did a great job.
As we say in Ladino, dediquemos el primer vaso de vino al coraje, a la creatividad, a la vitalidad para alentarnos para nosotros mismos y también por los que sufren por modo de los paros de nuestros días.
As we say in Yiddish, Mit dem ersten Gläsel Wein trinken wir der Mutigkeit, Schöpferischkeit und Liebkeit, sich anzunehmen für sich allein und für die, was leiden unter Heineke Paras, which means in English, let us dedicate this first cup of wine to finding the courage, creativity, and vitality to stand up for ourselves and all those who are suffering under modern-day pharaohs.
Good?
Yep.
Awesome.
Just go.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Awesome. Karpas. Pesach is a springtime holiday. The karpas, or parsley, reminds us of springtime and hope. We dip the karpas in salt water because the tears taste salty. We remember the tears of our people who cried in Mitzrayim when we were enslaved. We are mindful of the tears of peoples who were not free. And may we never be so comfortable that we become complacent and forget that pain. May we always be able to feel the connection between our struggles, our own struggles, for freedom and today's struggles against oppression, wherever they occur.
So people are eating with karpas?
Just go. You go.
Matzah. Matzah is known as the bread of affliction. One reason we break the middle matzah is to remind ourselves that the key to freedom is to plan for the future. Some are free now, but we must continue to plan for the long term to ensure all will be free. Dividing the matzah also reminds us that our nation is divided by fear and ignorance, racism and economic inequality, Islamophobia and xenophobia. Until these divided parts are made whole, our Seder cannot truly be ended, and our nation cannot be whole. Today we have already broken the matzah and hidden the afikoman, the matzah that the children search for at the end of our Seder. The Seder cannot end until the afikoman is found, which reminds us that our children have a right to be heard.
As we say in Ladino, esto es el pan de la aflicción que comieron los padres en tierra de Egipto. Todo el que tiene hambre, venga y coma. Todo el que tiene de menester, venga y pasuque. Which means in English, this is the bread representing our affliction that our people ate in the land of Egipto, or Mitzrayim. May whoever is hungry come and eat. May anyone who is in distress come and celebrate with us.
As the Yiddish writer I.L. Peretz said, "Als wird Tag gesogen, soll jeder, was es hingerig hereinkommen in Essen, soll keiner nicht davon hereinkommen." Which means, if you really call out, let all who are hungry come and eat, may there be no one in the world who needs to come in.
Jewish cultures all over the world have celebrated Pesach and asked the traditional 4 questions in their own native languages. There are several hundred versions from French to Korean to Judeo-Arabic. In English, why is this night different from all other nights? In Ladino, ¿cuánto fue demudada la noche la esta más que todas las noches?
We invite the children to sing the traditional 4 questions. We ask and then answer these questions together tonight.
Just bring this one. Come on, kids.
We're just figuring out which kids are doing which things. Hold on for 1 second.
So-
Go to the smaller microphone, the shorter
Over
one.
here. So over here. So
Slight miscommunication. We're going to jump to the Yiddish, which is 22.
You're going to go stand right next to Charlotte and Sadie. Okay, ready? You can stand at that one. Okay, go for it. 3, 2.
As we say in Hebrew, Yiddish. As we say in Yiddish, Man ishtah halayla hazel mikol halelos. Favos idos nana fun pesek anders fun alle fun gansion. Shokol halelos. Alned as in mir time komes sai matze. Over halayla hazel. And it does not fix enough as in mir normatze. Shebehol halelos. Alned as in mir komes grinsen. Over halal hazel, and it doesn't enough more. Boys, the visitor died is red. Shabahol halelos. Alness, token mir ein iPhone witness. Over halal hazel, and it doesn't enough. Token mir ein Spamo. Shabahol halelos. Alness, kennen wir essen sie Sayom Rollins, over Halala Hazet, and it doesn't put nice enough, essen wir all umgelennt. Man ist der Halala Hazet, Mikol Halelos. For was ist die Soße von Pesach, andere von alle von ganz Jahr. We would like to answer the first traditional question. Why do we eat matzah? When Pharaoh let our ancestors go from Mitzrayim, they were forced to leave quickly. There was no time to let dough rise and bake it into bread for the journey. So they snatched up their dough and fled Pharaoh's army. The hot sun beating down on the dough as they carried it along with them baked it into a flat, unleavened bread, which they called matzah. That is why we eat matzah on Pesach. We would like to answer the second question. Why do we eat more? Our ancestors were enslaved in Mitzrayim, and their lives were made bitter. That is why we eat maror on Pesach. I would like to answer the third question. Why do we dip herbs twice?
The first time we dip the parsley in salt water because the parsley reminds us of the green that comes to life again in the springtime. And the salt water reminds us of the tears of the Jewish people before they became free. The second time we dip more, the bitter herbs, in sweet harosis as a sign of hope. Our ancestors were able to live with the bitterness of enslavement because it was sweetened by the hope of freedom.
Now I would like to answer the last question.
Why do we recline?
In ancient days, the enslaved were forced to eat quickly because their masters did not permit them to waste a single moment when they could be working. And so the enslaved ate either standing up or squatting on the ground. At our Passover Seder, we mark our freedom by eating while sitting or reclining. When they composed the Seder, the ancient rabbis adopted the custom of reclining from their Greek and Roman neighbors' symposia banquets where teachers and students would recline to eat, drink, and talk. They learned from one another playfully and joyfully, relaxing to enjoy another's company over a shared dinner table. The leisure to learn in convivial company exemplified them for the dignity of being free people.
Reader 27. Are you 27? No. I'll go. 4 questions? Are there only 4 questions? There are countless questions. In the spirit of this holiday, we ask some of the other questions that burn in our hearts, written by the Shula Daled class. Why don't we accept immigrants when our country was built by immigrants? Why does our democracy give people in power even more power? And why does it take power away from people who already don't have it? Why, when we reflect, do we always reflect on the negative rather than the positive? That hits. Can we work together to be a better country, even in the hands of corrupt people?
The symbols and story of Passover reflect the struggles against injustice, both old and new. This is the story of Pesach. Let us turn to our ancient tradition. During a famine, Jews came to Mitzrayim. Their children multiplied and prospered. They held important positions and played an important role in the political, cultural, and economic life of the country. The old Pharaoh died, and there arose a new Pharaoh who said, "Look, the Jewish people are too mighty for us." So Pharaoh put the Jews into labor gangs and set taskmasters over them with heavy loads. He enslaved them and treated them harshly.
In spite of the many cruel decrees of Pharaoh, the Jewish people continued to live and grow strong. Pharaoh now hit on a new and more terrible plan. He commanded the Jewish midwives to kill every boy born to a Jewish family. They refused to comply. 2 of the heroic, defiant midwives, Shifra and Puah, helped a son to be born into the house of Levi to Yocheved and her husband Amram. Yocheved, frightened by Pharaoh's law, hid her son in a basket and placed it on the river Nile.
Oh, yeah, wait. That's fine. Okay.
Oh, this is right. That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we are.
Schwimmt das Kästel auf den Teich, auf den großen Nil. Schwimmt das Kästel ruhig gleich, schwimmt das Kästel still. Und ich will jetzt gehen still, gehen zart und lieb, wie sie wollten hinten sich tun schlechtem Kind. Schwimmt das Kästel auf den Teich, auf den großen Nil. Schwimmt das Kästel ruhig gleich, schwimmt das Kästel still. Und ich will jetzt seinen doch nicht wie Paare schlecht, nicht der trinken wollen sie, dem Befreier von die Knecht. Schwimmt das Kästel auf den Teich, auf den großen Nil. Schwimmt das Kästel ruhig gleich, schwimmt das Kästel still, schwimmt das Kästel still.
Pharaoh's daughter rescued the baby. The baby's sister, Miriam, who was hiding in the bulrush plants, offered to find a woman to nurse him.
She ran to get Yocheved, the baby's mother.
So Moses, Moishe, which means drawn from the water, was raised by his own mother, his sister, and the Pharaoh's daughter.
Moses grew up a prince, yet aware that he was Jewish. One day he tried to stop a taskmaster from beating an enslaved Jew. Moses hit the taskmaster and accidentally killed him. He was forced to flee the palace. The story goes that one day he saw a bush that was on fire yet alive and green. Moses saw this as a sign that he must rescue Jewish people from enslavement. Perhaps the burning bush was the light of freedom shining in his eyes. Some say that Moses was the first community organizer, helping Jews see their treatment as unjust and leading them in a fight against oppression and an escape to freedom, building a sense of unity and peoplehood.
The story says that 10 plagues ravished Mitzrayim, and then Pharaoh finally agreed to let the Jews leave. Soon after, however, Pharaoh had a change of heart and mobilized his soldiers to recapture the Jews, who were now on the shores of the Red Sea. The Jews looked back and saw Pharaoh's army approaching. The only way out was to jump into the sea before them. According to the book of Exodus, the sea parted, creating a path. Legend has it that the waters did not divide until one man, Nachshon, walked into the sea. As he walked in, the water rose above his ankles, above his knees, above his waist, above his shoulders, above his mouth and nose. And he kept walking forward. In doing so, he acted as a free person, ready to take the ultimate risk for his freedom. And only then did the waters of the Red Sea part for the Jews to walk through.
It's a verb, freedom is a verb, something never finished, never done. It's something you must make, and it's something you must take, and it's something you must constantly become. It's a verb, freedom is a verb, something never finished, never done. It's something you can fake, and it's something that'll break if it ain't something that you constantly become. Let's do it all again. It's a verb, freedom is a verb, something never finished, never done. It's something you can make, and it's something you must take, and it's something you must constantly become. It's a verb, freedom is a verb, something never finished, never done. It's something they can fake, and it's something that'll break if it ain't something that you constantly become.
When the Jewish people had crossed the Red Sea, the waters flowed back together, catching the army of Mitzrayim and drowning them. The Jews' joy at escaping enslavement was not complete because they saw the suffering of others.
In very real terms, that means we see and acknowledge the suffering of the Palestinian people. These eloquent words were written about an event from over 10 years ago, and the situation has gotten worse. No Moses in Siege by Muhammad Al-Kurd. On July 16th, 2014, 4 boys aged between 9 and 14 were killed by Israeli naval fire while playing soccer on a beach in Gaza City. Was it because there were no more graves in Gaza that you brought us to the beach to die? Was it because rubbling us in our houses, like our cousins, like our futures, like our gods, would be a bore? Was it because our cemeteries need cemeteries and our tombstones need homes? Was it because our fathers needed more grief? We were limbs in the wind, our joy breaking against the shore, soccer ball in between our feet. We were soccer in between their feet. No place to run. No Moses in Siege. Waves stitched together, embroidered, weaved, unwalkable, indivisible, passage implausible. On most days, we weep in advance. We looked up to the clouds, got up on clouds. Here we know 2 suns, Earth's friend and white phosphorus. Here we know 2 things, death and the few breaths before it. What do you say to children for whom the Red Sea doesn't part?
I think I need a little bit higher, but not too high. A full cup of wine is a symbol of joy. Take that just after that. And we acknowledge the suffering of the people of Mitzrayim by dipping a spoon into our cup and removing a drop of wine, 1 for each of the 10 plagues. Are you ready? I'm going to read them. I just letting you pour the wine first. Dam, blood. Tzefardea, frogs. Kinim, lice. Arov, beasts. Dever, cattle disease. Shechin, boils. Barad hal, arbet, locusts. Choshech, darkness. Makat Baharot, plague on the firstborn.
Today the world is far from being free. Each drop of wine is hope and prayer for a bessere Welt, a better world for all. Let us dip again and recite 10 modern plagues. Any Vav here? Anyone from the Vav class who would like to come and read the 10 plagues? They're coming. I love it. Yes, you're doing it. It's excellent. Here, read that. Here, you can come to this microphone. Come here. Yep, you got it.
Sorry.
Okay, ready? Set, go.
Transphobia, animal abuse, racism, neo-Nazism, sexism, climate change, health inequity, war, homelessness, fascism, anti-Semitism.
Are you the next one? 40? Okay, you're 40. Okay, great.
Here are 10 actions we can take to address these modern plagues, naming 5 aspects of teshuvah, return, repentance, and 5 components of reparations. Everybody together. Recognition, empathy, acknowledgement, transformation, reparations, restitution, compensation, rehabilitation, satisfaction, guarantees of non-repetition.
Even in times of difficulties, the Seder reminds us that there is still much to do. We have a vision, we take it to heart, and we work hard to make it happen. What miracles and accomplishments would be sufficient in today's world for us to be truly satisfied, to create a better Welt, a better world? At the end of each line, we invite you to say Dayenu, which means it would have been enough. When all the workers of the world have enough jobs and money, enjoy safe, healthy, and secure working conditions, and can take pride in their work. Dayenu. When the air, water, fellow creatures, and beautiful earth are protected for the benefit and enjoyment of all, and given priority over development for the sake of profit. When people of all ages, genders, sexual orientations, races, abilities, religions, cultures, and nations respect and appreciate one another.
When all children grow up in freedom without hunger and with the love and support they needed to realize their full potential. Dayenu. When food, shelter, and health care are accepted as human rights and are available to all. Dayenu. When all who seek welcome in this world, in this country are welcomed. Dayenu. When we open our hearts, no less our homes, to every refugee around the world until there are no more refugees. Dayenu. When we achieve a just and equitable end of the occupation of Palestinian lands so that Israeli Jews and Palestinians can live together in freedom and in peace. Dayenu.
When we dismantle white supremacy in our institutions, neighborhoods, homes, and hearts. When those who have caused harm are held accountable and helped to take responsibility and to engage in repair rather than being locked away, out of sight, and abandoned. When young people's lives matter more than guns. When the health of our teachers, food service, and retail workers are valued more than corporate profits and political posturing. If today each person could say, this year, I worked as hard as I could toward collective action in response to collective injustice. Dayenu, Dayenu.
I think you know this, but we've thrown a few curveballs your way, so.
Ilu hatzi hatzi anu Hotzianu mi Mitzrayim, Hotzianu mi Mitzrayim, Dayenu, 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 Dayenu. Wollt kein Seder nicht gewesen, kein Haggadah nicht gewesen, aber gnädlich ja gewesen, Dayenu, 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 Dayenu.
What does this mean? It would have been enough. Surely no one of these things would indeed have been enough for us. Dayenu means to celebrate each step toward freedom as if it were enough, then to start out on the next step. It means that if we reject each step because it is not the whole liberation, we will never be able to achieve the whole liberation. It means to sing each verse as if it were the whole thing, and then sing the next verse.
Wie kann man singen molle Simche, als nur ein Trott ist genug Schein in a Welt voll mit Scheinen. Dayenu. Lass mir singen jede Strophe, es folgt gewinnt das ganze Lied und nach dem Singen noch a Strophe. Dayenu, 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 Dayenu. Noch a bissl und a bissl macht auf schöne volle Schüssel. Noch a Trott und noch a Trott bis Dayenu. Wenn die Welt ist voll mit Liebschaft, wenn die Welt ist voll mit Freundschaft, Freiheit, Gleichheit, Gerechtigkeit, ja! Dayenu, 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 Dayenu. Hey!
Yep, just like that. You're good. Go for it. Speak right into there.
On each table is a cedar plate that holds a set of symbolic foods.
Nice and loud.
Matzah. This is matzah, the bread of liberation, of rebellion that our foremothers baked and ate in a time when they had to be organizing more and cooking less. Eggs. The eggs are a symbol of springtime, fertility, and the giving of life. We are reminded of Pharaoh's threat to kill newborn Jewish babies and of the courageous midwives who refused to carry out his orders. The egg also tells us the longer things are in hot water, the tougher they become. We dip the eggs in salt water to taste the tears that accompany birth and death in times of enslavement and freedom.
Paschal lamb. Tradition directs us to hold up a roasted lamb bone to recall the Passover story of the doorposts of Jewish homes in Mitzrayim, marked with the blood of the sacrificed animals so that the angel of death would pass over and not take the firstborn Jewish children. You can also use a beet to represent the blood and a model or drawing of a lamb bone to represent the lamb, so that no lambs are in fact sacrificed for our Seder plates. But the ancient symbol of that first Passover is retained. In this way, we affirm our ancient traditions while acknowledging ethical and ecological concerns about the eating of meat. Many thanks to the Shula for making clay bones. Moror. The bitter herbs symbolize the bitterness of enslavement, and salt water, which represents the tears of our ancestors in enslavement.
Thanks. Perfect height for you. Great. Cirrhosis is a sweet mixture of fruit and nuts with variations around the world, such as apples, nuts, wine, and spices, dates, figs, apricots, prunes, or oranges, peanuts, and bananas. In all cases, it symbolizes the mortar that our ancestors used to build pyramids. The sweet taste of the Harosis also reminds us that even in the bitterest times of enslavement, our people have always remembered the sweet taste of freedom. Carpus. The parsley and the salt water remind us that both the tender greens of the earth and the salt of the sea are joined together to sustain life. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm not that tall.
You're so welcome.
One of the gifts of our tradition is that we're able to interpret and expand the customs that have been handed down to us. One modern custom is the addition of an orange on the Seder plate. Scholar Susanna Herschel began putting an orange on her Seder plate to symbolize the fruitfulness of the LGBTQ people bring to the Jewish community. And there are those that add, we left Mitzrayim as enslaved and were reborn as a free people. So we bring to the Seder plate a fruit that carries within itself the seeds of its own rebirth.
We add the olive to our Seder plate to bring to mind the olive branch, which has long been a symbol of peace, and to remember the olive tree that evokes an ancient past shared by generations, tied to the ritual of harvest and to the traditions of preparing and sharing food with family and friends. The olive reminds us of the heartbreak and of the war in Gaza, the Israeli occupation of Palestinian territories, and the massive uprooting of centuries-old Palestinian olive trees. At the same time, we are reminded of the olive branch as a sign of hope, an enduring future dating back to the time of Noah. The receding floodwaters and the beginning of a new life.
We invite you to pour the second cup of wine. As we say in Hebrew, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen.
As we say in Ladino, dediquemos el segundo vaso de vino a la paz, en juntos con la justicia, que no haya más guerra, no comidas, opresión y ocupación de Israel-Palestina.
As we say in Yiddish, mit dem zweiten Gläsel Wein trinken wir lekoved Sholem und Gerechtigkeit und a Sof zu Milchome, Hungertod, Badrigung und Okkupatio in Israel-Palestina, which means in English, let us dedicate the second cup of wine to peace with justice and an end to war, starvation, oppression, and occupation in Israel-Palestine.
I would like to issue a warm welcome to our Muslim guests who have been working alongside the BWC Jewish Muslim Solidarity Committee.
think I got it.
You did.
Good evening. We eat the sweet cherosis and bitter morar together to remember the sweetness of freedom and the bitterness of enslavement. As we eat them, we sweeten our awareness that life is in the real world is a sandwich of bitter and sweet. My name is Tahira Amatul Wadud. I am Muslim. I am African American with my roots in the slave trade, and I stand with you in faith principles of calling for justice even when it's uncomfortable. And thank you for welcoming me tonight.
Just going to make sure the mic is
Okay.
How's that?
I'll do that.
You feel good? Okay, great. Go for it.
Our hearts go out to all those caught in occupation, oppression, and war. We recall Ukraine's complex Jewish history with pogroms and persecution, Cossacks, and Nazi collaborators, as well as fertile soil for Jewish creativity and radical Yiddishkeit. Ukraine is the heart of the Bloodlands, an area which has witnessed 2 world wars, a civil war, a major famine, and the Holocaust by bullets. Once again, Ukraine has been invaded and occupied, with Russian missiles hitting Babi Yar, the site of the largest shooting of Jews in the Holocaust, Europe's largest mass grave. As Ukraine President Zelensky said, quote, "We were shelled last night in Kyiv, and we all died again at Babi Yar from a missile attack, killing the Holocaust victims once again," unquote. At a time when modern-day pharaohs are conspiring against Ukrainian sovereignty, we vow to resist. May there be peace and an end to oppression and occupation in Ukraine, Yemen, Sudan, the Congo, Israel, and Palestine. Justice is the right of all who live in the wrong places in this world. A quote by Maya Abu al-Hayat, translated from Arabic to English by Fadi Judah.
The biblical patriarch Abraham is traditionally considered the father of both Judaism and Islam. Judaism through Abraham's son Isaac, and Islam through Abraham's son Ishmael. Our roots are the same. In the aftermath of Hamas's brutal attack on October 7th and the horrific assault on Gaza that has taken place in the months since, we have held space for the breadth of perspectives that exist within our community and listened to each other with resilience. We've also led with our values, taking action for a negotiated ceasefire, release of hostages and detainees, and a just and lasting peace. As we seek peace in the Middle East, let us remember that Jews and Muslims are cousins. We have an obligation to protect Palestinian life as rigorously as we protect Israeli life. Together, let us engage in solidarity in Israel-Palestine and throughout the diaspora with all who are being marginalized by those in power.
Passover, 1943, the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising. The first night of Passover, April 19th, 1943, is a historic date in modern Jewish history, the start of the Warsaw Jewish Uprising. The Nazis had planned to liquidate the ghetto as a birthday present for Hitler, a Judenrein Warsaw, a Warsaw empty of Jews. But the Jews knew of their plans and were prepared. They resisted. They fought back. Unable to take the ghetto by military force, the desperate Germans destroyed it brick by brick. With the Warsaw Ghetto in flames, the fighters turned to guerrilla activity. They lived in underground bunkers, fought from the sewers, and struggled on amid the charred rubble of the ghetto.
On May 16th, the Germans announced that the fighting was over and that the Jewish quarter of Warsaw no longer exists. But there were still hundreds of Jews in the subterranean bunkers of the ghetto, which was now a heap of ruins. It took Hitler longer to subdue the Jews of Warsaw and conquer all of Czechoslovakia and Poland. It is fitting that at our Seder we remember to pay homage to those who gave their lives for our honor and freedom.
Because we have so few names of the Jewish women in our history, tonight we'll also honor the memory of our unknown brave sisters, those who fought so courageously against the Nazi horrors. We remember Hannah Senesh and Haviva Reich, who parachuted behind enemy lines in Hungary and Slovakia to organize resistance and rescue Jews. We remember Vlada Mead and Heike and Frumka Potnitsky, who served as couriers and smuggled arms for the ghetto fighters. We remember Elaine Moshkevich, who worked with the Belgian resistance from inside the Gestapo. We remember Rosa Robota, who organized the smuggling of dynamite to blow up a crematorium in Auschwitz. We remember Heike Grossmann, Gusta Drenger, Zivia Lubetkin, Gysi Fleischmann, Tosia Altmann, Zofia Jamaika, Nyuta Teitelbaum. Their willingness to sacrifice their lives for their people shines through the words of Hannah Senesh, written shortly before her execution. Blessed is the match consumed in kindling flame. Blessed is the flame that burns in the secret fastness of the heart. Blessed is the heart with the strength to stop beating for honor's sake. Blessed is the match consumed in kindling flame.
Irina Klepfitz, a child survivor whose father fought and died in the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising, wrote, "I have concluded that one way to pay tribute to those we loved who struggled, resisted, and died is to hold on to their vision and their fierce outrage at the destruction of the ordinary life of their people. It is this outrage we need to keep alive in our daily life and apply it to all situations, whether they involve Jews or non-Jews. The hysteria of a mother grieving for the teenager who has been shot. The humiliation of a people whose culture is alien and deemed inferior. A people living under military rule. Because of our experience, we recognize these evils as obstacles to peace. At those moments of recognition, we feel the outrage that inspired the Jews of the Warsaw Ghetto, and we allow it to guide us in our present struggles."
A Rose Shoulder Up by Musab Abu Toha. Don't ever be surprised to see a rose shoulder up among the ruins of the house. This is how we survived.
We dedicate this song to the memory of Sarah Swartz, a longtime member of Abessida Welt who passed away recently. Her parents and aunts were among the few survivors of the Warsaw Ghetto. Sarah was the author of Heroines, Rescuers, Rabbis, Spies, Unsung Women of the Holocaust, which included her mother, Regina, and her aunt, Ruth.
Oh, we are women, and we are marching. Bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. We are marching for liberation. We want the revolution now. Queste fiore del partigiano. Bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Queste fiore del partigiano.
Please pour the third cup of wine. And as we say together in Hebrew, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen.
As we say in Ladino, bebemos el tercer vaso de vino en memoria de la revolta en el gueto de Varsovia y para enfortecer nuestra obligación de reconocer y vencer el fascismo de hoy.
As we say in Yiddish, mit dem dritten Gläsel Wein lommer gedenken dem Warschauer Ghetto Aufstand und unsere eigene tiefe Übergegebenkeit in Gerangel gegen Faschism. We drink the third cup of wine in memory of the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising and to deepen our commitment to the struggle to recognize and overcome fascism today.
Rabbinic legend teaches that a magical well inspired by Miriam accompanied the Jews on their journey from Mitzrayim. As a midwife and a powerful Jewish woman and prophetess, Miriam represents birth, possibility, challenge, and moving through uncharted waters. She was also known for her tambourine and her singing. Every table has Miriam's cup made by Shula students. Let us fill Miriam's cup with water and honor the strength and joy of women throughout our history.
Elijah's cup. Elijah the prophet, Eliyahu Hanavi, traditionally wanders the world in the garb of a poor person to see how the world treats the downtrodden, to see whether the world has achieved justice and is ready for the coming of the Messiah. Elijah is the symbolic hope of peace, freedom, and happiness that will come to our people and to all the people of the world. Elijah comes to every Seder as a loving guest. Let us each pour some wine into Elijah's cup to show that we will act together. And let us open the door for Elijah to show that we welcome everyone, strangers, immigrants, refugees, and new ideas which strengthen and enrich our lives.
Today, we cannot just sit passively and await Elijah's return. Let us, like Elijah, be moved to action to bring about a world of peace and justice. Let us fight the elimination of the good work of USAID and the cancellation of temporary protective status for those who are unable to return home safely. V and N are a Haitian couple who arrived legally in the U.S. about 18 months ago. Boston Workers Circle has been helping them and a refugee family from Uganda as they settled into their new homes in Boston. They and so many other immigrants are frightened that the lives they have built in the U.S. will be upended by the current administration. With the ending of temporary protective status and humanitarian parole, these people who have come to this country legally are now in danger of becoming illegal immigrants. And the legal cost for defending them will be fairly large. See the action list at the end of this Haggadah to see how you can help VNN and others. Thank you very much. Third
table. I read it this time.
Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hagiladi, Allewarten jung und alt, bring der Lesung, komm je bald, mit Mashiach ben David, mit Mashiach ben David, Miriam Tanavia, Od Vazimra Begada, Miriam Tir Kodetanu, Lechagdil Bimrat Olam, Miriam Tir Kodetanu, Lithateken et Haolam, Bimhera Ve'amenu, Yitzvei Edeinu, El Me HaYeshua, El Me HaYeshua, Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hagiladi.
Oh boy. Hi. So, as we know, it takes a shtetl, a village, a whole mess of people to make anything in community happen. So, I'm going to take a moment to say the names and to offer gratitude in an effort for us to manage that thing where we're like, do we clap? Do we not clap after each name? And it's not an insignificant list. I'm going to say, hold off, and at the end, we're going to do like an in unison cheer for all of the incredible work, okay? So you don't have to think about it. I'll tell you when to clap. So, huge thanks to our musicians, Polly Katz, Bob Follensby, Eric Ludwig, and members of Abeser Welt Yiddish Chorus, the Ritual Committee, Linda Gritz, Rochelle Rothschild, Susan Lengus, Jonathan Broomberg-Kraus, Marsha Lazar. A huge thank you to our Moses of Logistics, Jenny Hochstadt. Jenny has been leading us out of the desert. Yet for her, you can give a quick round. Great. Now we're going to go back to it. Jenny has been leading us out of the desert to a room full of beautiful Seder tables piled with food for more years than we can count. Logistics, registration, and publicity. We've got Kimberly Arkin, Sandy Martin, Rebecca Zimmerman, Hornstein, Melissa Sawyer-Greer, Meira Soloff, Ali Rice, Zohar Berman, and Julie Feinberg. Everyone who did the shopping and made hard-boiled eggs and the much-beloved charosis. The setup, serving, and cleanup volunteers under the stellar leadership of Jenny Hochstadt. All the readers for adding their personal voice to the Seder. Meira Soloff and all the shul teachers and students for their writings, readings, and singing. Mike Katz for technical expertise. Andrew Nicastro and crew of Streamography for the live stream. All those who offered more help than was needed. And thank you to our community for making our holiday gathering so special and meaningful. We couldn't and wouldn't do it without you, and now we applause and say thank you. As always, as we're always changing and growing and shifting, we will appreciate any feedback about the Seder. What did you like? What can be improved? Would you like to join the Ritual Committee? See the end of the Haggadah for ways to share your thoughts. As a secular space, Boston Worker Circle is dedicated to defining and advancing social justice and mutual aid for the Jewish left. For over a century, we've built a vibrant and intergenerational community that's committed to making a better world. We are self-funded and rely on the support of our community to continue offering educational, cultural, and social justice programs that actively fight against oppression. If you are able, please donate today at circleboston.org to help BWC continue to thrive. And thank you to everyone here and online for being a part of this amazing community and for your ongoing support of our work. Thank you so much.
Here, oh, Charlotte, come to this one. Okay, ready, go.
You got it. We are representing the class, the 5th grade class at BWC Shul. We organized and carried out a protest in favor of a 5-year moratorium on building new prisons for women and girls. During the moratorium, our partner organization, Family for Justice's Healing, or FJA, has proposed to reimagine communities, using the millions of dollars that would have otherwise been used to build new prisons to help the people and families directly affected by our criminal justice system. For example, they want to help formerly incarcerated women and girls get jobs and not simply be discarded. It's about repair, not punishment.
Our protest took place at the Massachusetts State House on Sunday, February 23rd. Representatives from FJA spoke about their experiences with the prison system, and TRUA, the Rabbinic Call for Human Rights, spoke about the Jewish ways of repairing harms. We gave speeches, we chanted, and we performed a skit. We educated the greater community and shared our message with the world. Local university journalists, news channels like GBH and even NBC 10 Boston came to report on our work. It felt fun, exciting, and empowering and inspiring. And the cherry on top was ending with hot cocoa and donuts. We will continue to work with Families for Justice as Healing, and we invite you to join us in this important work. See the list at the end of this Haggadah for actions you can take.
Pour your 4th cup of wine as needed. As we say in Hebrew, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pri hagafen.
As we say in Ladino, enbeviando el cuarto vaso de vino, dijimos, lucha para que todas las criaturas puedan pujar en un mundo que celebra la diversidad, la justicia y la inclusividad y la justicia.
As we say in Yiddish, mit dem Viertelglasen Wein rufen wir euch zu Aktions, kedei alle Kinder sollen blühen in a Welt, was besingt Vielminnigkeit, Tzedek und Reinnehmen. Which means in English, with the 4th cup of wine, we send out a call to action so that all children can thrive in a world that celebrates DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Chad Gadya, one little goat, is traditionally sung at the end of the Seder. In one interpretation, the song symbolizes a long chain of cause and effect, with justice prevailing in the end. Chad Gadya has many verses and has been sung in many languages, including Hebrew, Aramaic, Yiddish, and Judeo-Arabic. Here are a few verses in Ladino.
Oh yeah, he starts.
Un cabre
cavratico, que se comió el cabritico. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm in the wrong verse. Un cabratico que lo mergió mi padre por 2 levanim, por 2 levanim.
Y vino el gato que se comió el cabritico que lo mergió mi padre por 2 levanim, por 2 levanim.
Y vino el perro y que comió el gato que se comió el cabritico que lo mergió mi padre por 2 levanim, por 2 levanim.
Y vino el palo y agarró el perro que mordió el gato que se comió el cabritico que lo mergió mi padre por 2 levanim, por 2 levanim.
Y vino el fuego y quemó el palo que agarró el perro que mordió el gato que se comió el cabritico que lo mergió mi padre por 2 levanim, por 2 levanim.
Y vino la agua y mató el fuego que quemó el palo que agarró el perro que mordió el gato que se comió el cabritico que lo mergió mi padre por 2 levanim, por 2 levanim, por 2 levanim, por 2 levanim.
The Seder obligates each of us to view ourselves as if we individually were liberated from enslavement. We are living in a historical moment that is clearly demonstrating that freedom and justice can never be taken for granted. They require constant vigilance, protection, rededication, and action. The Seder often ends with the words, "Next year in Jerusalem." But in awareness of how this metaphor of freedom has been misused, we say next year in freedom from Pharaoh. We call for peace and justice in Palestine, in Israel, in Ukraine, in the U.S., and all over the world as we confront the rise to power of a despot in our own country. Now we say next year in freedom worldwide.
May the spirit of Passover, this festival of freedom, remain with us throughout the coming year. May its teachings inspire us to work toward our vision of a bessere Welt, a better world. There is no way to get from here to there except by joining together, working, marching, and sometimes stumbling through the wilderness, watching, this time not for signs and wonders, but for opportunities to act. And whatever the obstacles, together we will prevail.
Though we are at the end of the Seder, this moment marks a beginning. Let us begin the new season with a renewed awareness of the freedoms we enjoy and the obstacles we must still confront. We look forward to the time when we gather together again. We have retold the ancient stories, recalled historic movements of liberation, and reflected on the struggles we, the people, face for freedom and equality. As spring breaks out all around us, we now embark on a year that we hope will bring positive change in the world and freedom to people everywhere. Green shoots of social justice activism are bursting into life with a rallying cry to actively build a world where all people are valued, protected, and free.
We're almost there, you guys. All right, after this last song of our community Seder, the children are invited to search for the afikomen. One more time. After the children have 10 minutes to eat their dinner first, Then the children are invited to search for the afikomen as we prepare for our Seder meal. When you find one, children, are you listening? Hello? Bring the envelope here and see if you can figure out the surprise. With this spring and Pesach, our faith, our yearning, and our work for a better world are renewed. This year, we are enslaved. Next year, free people. This year, we live in a world at war with itself, a world in agony. Next year, may we celebrate in a world at peace, a just world.
What are we singing? Okay, that's fine. Okay, cool. Do you mind? Oh, no, I'm going to look on with you. I just realized. Yep, good.
Und wir seien alle einig, oi, oi, alle einig, wir seien viel zu wenig, oi, oi, oi. Und wir seien mit Kinder alle, oi, oi, mit Kinder alle, mit Gehalle, oi, oi, oi. Okay, next time. Hi, 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 hi. Und wir seien alle freilich, oi, oi, alle freilich, wie Eunissen und David HaMelech, oi, oi, oi. Und wir seien alle Pleitem, oi, oi, alle Pleitem, zreißen, lo mir alle Keten, oi, oi, oi. Hei, 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 one more time, let's go.
All right, before we get into the food, which smells so good, and oh my gosh, like every Seder, we're hungry. Kids, this is for you. I need all the kids to hear this. Grown-ups, if you do not have a ticket for mac and cheese, please do not help yourself to mac and cheese until all the children who have a ticket for mac and cheese get that mac and cheese. Shula says thank you. On top of that, you should have been, if you ordered tofu or mac and cheese, it should be on a colored ticket. When your table is suggested to go, you can go and get those entrees. If you're running low on things, please reach out to the tables next to you to see if they have extra before we address that organizationally. And kids again, all ears on this. You got to eat for 10 minutes before you can look for that afikomen. Oh, great. Oh, Polly's going to tell the kids when it's time to hunt for that afikomen. That's it. Thank you so much. Enjoy. If you are a person who has a ticket for tofu and mac and cheese, and you are on to my right, your left, which means Shula folks first, go get that mac and cheese. go get that tofu. And in a second, I will release the hounds of adults to the tofu mac and cheese world. Thank you so much.